as well known as other 90s R&B girl groups like TLC, SWV, and En Vogue, but they made their mark their way also during the decade with their undeniable beauty and talent. However, while dealing with the exit of one member and enough label changes to make anyone's head spin, they haven't been able to duplicate the success they once experienced. Let's find out whatever happened to Allure. Allure formed in 1996, originally operating as a quartet with members Aaliyah Gray, formerly Davis, Akissa Mendez, Lalisha Sanders, and Lenny Belcher. Aaliyah, Lalisha, and Akissa decided to form the group while they all were attending Fiorello H. LaGuardia High School of Music and Art and Performing Arts in New York City, the school that famously served as the inspiration for the 1980 hit movie and subsequent TV show, Fame. They ended up deciding to add a fourth member, Lenny Belcher, who was attending a different high school at the time, also in New York. Over the next couple of years, their hard work eventually gained the attention of Poke, one half of the wildly successful hip-hop production team, Trackmasters, who's worked with some of the biggest names in hip-hop and R&B, including Nas, LL Cool J, Mary J. Blige, Jay-Z, Jennifer Lopez, and Mariah Carey. Allure didn't realize it at the time, but teaming up with Poke would ultimately set their career on a collision course towards success. While working on their debut album after signing with LaFace Records, one of the singles leaked to Mariah, and not only did she love their sound, but she insisted on meeting them. After singing live for her, Mariah knew she needed to make them an offer, and Allure accepted, becoming the first artist signed to her now defunct record label, Crave Records, in 1997. Prior to their self-titled debut album dropping in May of the same year, they released two singles, one of which, Head Over Heels, featuring rapper Nas, did make some waves on the Billboard Hot 100, peaking at number 35. But it was their third single that ultimately gave the group their big push into the spotlight. All Cried Out, a cover version of the Lisa Lisa and Cult Jam 80s classic, featuring R&B male group 112, reached number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100 and became their biggest hit to date, and was the driving force catapulting the album to gold status. The high from All Cried Out, however, didn't last long. Crave Records dissolved, which left the group in limbo and needing new representation. They initially found a home at Columbia Records, but were only able to release 2 movie soundtrack songs, You're the Only One for Me from Runaway Bride, and When the Shades Go Down from The Best Man. They then signed with MCA Records in 2000 and dropped a couple of singles as well as their sophomore album, none of which did very well on the charts, possibly due in part to not receiving much support from the label. Soon after, Lenny Belcher, now known as Hemley, decided to leave the group, and the other 3 members carried on as a trio. In the years to follow, the group released several singles without much fanfare. Their third album, Chapter 3, finally arrived in 2004, after signing with True Warrior Records, a label owned by former NBA forward Ron Artest, also for a time known as Meta World Peace, and currently as Meta Sandiford-Artest. The album did about as well as their second album, and much of the little attention that it did receive was due to Artest's NBA suspension during that year's season. Over the next several years, Aaliyah and Lalisha married, they toured all over Europe, and worked on their reality show that never ended up airing. In 2010, they formed their own label and released their first EP, followed up by their fourth album, Time's Up. After taking some time off to recover from their roller coaster experiences and focus on family, the group publicly announced in 2018 that they were working on a new album which has yet to be released. The single Like I Do, with accompanying music video, also debuted at the end of that year. In October 2020, Allure and Mariah Carey's names came together once again for a social media face-off. The group publicly called out their former boss in an Instagram post after finding out that in her recently released memoir, The Meaning of Mariah Carey, the pop icon did not mention the group when speaking about her short-lived label, even though some of their label mates did receive acknowledgement. They also included with the post an old video clip circa 1997 where they speak about being the first act signed to the label.
Our first release is a group called Allure. So quick introduction: Lalisha, Akisa, Lenny, and Aaliyah. The single is called Head Over Heels. Nas is on it, and I worked on it with the track masters, who are really incredible producers.
Was with us for the group, and we was like, great, we got some songs, let's do it.
And then there's a beautiful ballad that Mariah wrote called Last Chance that is so massive that our batting average should be 1 for 1.
The post clearly highlights the hurt and disappointment the group felt about the omission. The quote, slap in the face, they felt was probably also compounded by the fact that over the years the group has had a couple of not so pleasant run-ins with the pop diva. According to a report from hip-hop radio station Hot 97, Mariah accused one of the group members of trying to have her jumped in a popular New York City club that they both attended one night. On another occasion, while waiting in the lobby of a venue to perform at a Christmas party, Mariah walked in, took one look at them, acted like she didn't see the group, and walked away. Since the downfall of the label happened right around the time of Mariah's divorce from Tommy Mottola, CEO of Sony Music Entertainment, which Crave Records was under, there was speculation that he not only played a major role in taking down the label, but also possibly barring Mariah from speaking about it in detail according to the divorce settlement. Allure also didn't want to take any chances of the posts going unnoticed, so they made sure to tag Mariah. At the time of the recording of this video, she has yet to respond. In typical overzealous fashion, Mariah's lambs lambasted the group and let them know that they were not going to let their queen be called out and disrespected on their watch, which resulted in Allure temporarily setting their page to private. Thanks for watching. Please like and share the video and subscribe for more amazing content. See you next time.